here. So that was my other question. Probably only had 7 minutes.
All right, we'll call this meeting of City Council to order. Call the roll, please.
White.
Here.
Willman. Here. Brown.
Here.
Ely. Here. Godwin.
Here.
Norris.
Here.
Rogers.
Here. Let's stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thank you. Approval of the minutes. Everyone should have received a copy of the minutes from the last meeting. Any additions or corrections? If not, those will stand approved. Approval of the agenda.
Mr. President,
Yes, ma'am.
I would like to request down under council representative of an outside committee. I was having Main Street Director Brandon Williams come in tonight to make a report. He got confused and is planning to come to the first council meeting in June. So could you?
We'll just move it to Lynn, if that's all right with you. Okay.
But I would
Could
also.
we'll take a motion then by Mrs. Ely to approve the agenda as amended there.
Mr. President,
Yes.
I have an amendment to it as well.
Okay.
I just want to make clear on the final, on the summary on number 10.
Yes.
So the summary on number 10 should read, this resolution authorizes the mayor to enter into agreement with ODOT's Director of Transportation to resurface State Route 49 from Broadway to Washington Street to Fort Recovery Road in the city of Greenville. So I don't want it to be misconstrued that it has anything to do with our public transit. It's ODOT.
Oh,
It's
gotcha.
an agreement with ODOT.
Just clearing that up.
Yep, that's it. Thank you very
Okay,
much.
so we'll include that in Mrs. Ely's motion to approve the agenda as amended. Discussion. Call the roll.
White.
Yes.
Wellman. Yes. Brown.
Yes.
Ely.
Yes.
Godwin.
Yes.
Norris.
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes. Okay, thank you. Moving on, public hearing. Anyone wishing to address council, please step forward. You're up.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is David Klein. I live at 1331 East Main Street in Greenville, Ohio with Connie. And I'm here to talk about your fireworks ordinance that you have in Greenville. You know what the fireworks ordinance is in Greenville? Anybody?
I haven't read it per se as far as word to word.
There is none.
Okay.
According to the Greenville Police Department, there is none. And they will not respond. We have neighbors that shoot off fireworks, large fireworks, that falls on our property. I have an item here of what I have to pick up. If you'd like to pass it around and look at it, is that okay? Sure. This is the only thing I have to pick up off our roof, off our gardens. We can't be outside because of the fireworks that our neighbors do. I'd like to know about getting an ordinance, because when I call the police and have them come down and look at it, they will not come. There's no ordinance, they will not come. So, this is what I have to go through. When I call back in the next day, with all this litter on the roof, and on my property, the officer told me that I should have my neighbors clean it up. Well, my neighbors never spoke to me, so it didn't happen. I cleaned it up. 76-year-old man shouldn't be on the roof. But I have to, and a lot of them, the embers are still hot when they hit the roof. And I'm asking the council to look for a ordinance. Because now, my other question is, if you do not have a city ordinance on fireworks, does the state ordinance apply? because I have the state ordinance right here.
Yes.
They should apply. And it's not, they should have responded with a state ordinance because it was not being followed. And I'm not saying who, I'm not saying, I just want litter to stop
I got a
on my
question.
property.
Got a question. Is that this year or last year?
That's this year. It happens every year. It happens for 2 years now.
They just shoot them off just because they want to,
Over July 4th, you're talking.
Over 4th of July, yeah. It's legal.
It would have been
or
last
last year?
Yeah, now this is from 4th of July, yeah. I've been trying to get up here.
was like current, I'm sorry.
Yeah, doing
I thought it was like current, and they're still doing it.
It's legal to shoot them off, but you gotta follow some rules. I mean, you can't do it right up against somebody's property and end up with this.
The
I
state,
put a new roof on my house this year, and I'm kinda concerned about the embers falling.
the state did pass a new law for fireworks.
And so what may be beneficial, President Smith, is if you want to refer it to the safety committee, we can take a closer look at it. Right now, we're following what the state ordinance is out there. I'm not sure why they mentioned that there was nothing. There are restricted dates as you get close to the 4th of July. It opens up a little bit. But there are still other things that, technically, it's still a littering offense if the trash is going on your neighbor's property, and so there are things that can be done. But maybe before we get too close to the 4th of July this year, if we refer it to the safety committee, we can just take a closer look at it.
Okay. Yeah. So if you want to set up meeting for that, what do you think?
Just refer Chair.
No, I mean, like deadline, what do you?
I would say, given where we're at and to make action happen, I did say a month, you probably want it back by the second meeting.
Second meeting in June.
Before.
Okay.
Yeah, or before.
Targeted for the first meeting in June.
Sound good?
Who's on the safety
Who
committee?
the chair of the safety committee is.
Who is that?
Bring my book.
I don't know if I have that list with me.
It's me.
Sounds good.
Well, but I don't know who's with you.
I kinda think this is like a litter issue too.
It is.
I don't
I don't know who else is on the committee, but I'd have to, I don't know if I have that with me tonight.
I want it, but I don't think. I can,
Normally I have my book.
maybe.
So I have, anybody like any further information, I live at 1341 East Main, stop by.
It looks like we're gonna put it into a committee to study this and look at it a little bit more.
Okay.
So, maybe we can figure out what to do.
And I can,
Pardon?
Because you're that way, right?
right, so I can easily verify, 100% accurate. I know exactly where they're shooting them. And so it's practically directly behind my house on Circle Drive that they're being shot. And so, yeah, I have no doubt. I can see them out my back.
Big ones, aren't
I can see them out my back door every July 4th, so,
Okay.
yeah.
Ryan, from,
they? I don't mind, I just don't want them on my property.
Sure,
wait, so you want the police to be part of that? Safety
Absolutely.
meeting?
Yep. We'll get a whenever you get it scheduled, we'll get a representative here that way.
I mean, I'll get it.
Yep.
Mr. Rogers and Mr. Godwin are on there also.
Okay.
we got that figured out.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, David.
Thanks, Dave.
Anyone else wishing to address council?
And
Well, I want to support him because, I live on Harmon, and there's a family there on Harmon who does this every year, and they do it over at the baseball diamond. And I walk down there the next morning, and there's all kinds of cardboard laying there in that, near the ball field. So that's been going on for several years. It makes a pretty sight. I can sit there and watch it. It looks almost professional, but when you go, they don't clean up the mess. I pick up sparklers, I pick up cardboard, and what have you. So, so they're not doing it on their property, they're doing it on the school's property. So I just want to bring that to attention. And the other thing is, after your last meeting, I had several people approach me about the thing that happened with the gentleman concerning the dogs. And they're worried now that the city is going to limit how many dogs people can own. And so they're all in a panic. People that have more than 2 dogs, because a rumor is going around that it's only going to be 2 dogs. And I assured people, come to the meeting, because that's not what the man said, and that's not what you guys said. And so I don't see anybody here, but yeah, people are all in a panic over it, and so I'm sure you read it on Facebook. But I just want to, and thank you also, whoever cleaned up the property there at the corner of Vine and 4th Street. I went by today, and the grass has been cut finally. So they left all the cuttings there, but it was so high and disgusting. And so whoever cut it, thank you very much. It makes it look much better. That's all I got.
All right, thank you. Is anyone else? If not, we'll move on to administrative reports. Mr. Mayor.
Yeah, thank you. And you know, if it's on Facebook, it's got to be true, so.
Yeah.
First thing I want to mention tonight, I sent out an email the other day about our friend Doug Wright, who served on city council. He's been on planning and zoning commission. He's been in the fire industry for a long, long time, most of his career. And the word is he's now home in bed, under hospice care. So I just want to keep him in our thoughts and prayers, and it's going to be a long ordeal for him, no matter how long it lasts. But we keep their family and Sandra in our prayers as well. So second of all, there's a matter that I got wind of listening to WHIO the other day, and I looked up the story. There's a fraud scam I want to make people aware of. The United States District Court for the Southern District of Ohio have been receiving reports of a scam where people are falsely claiming to be court officials, and scammers are impersonating federal court representatives and threaten victims with fines or jail time for missed jury duty. And unless they pay immediately, the scammers are using certified mail as well. So just know that that's not how the courts operate. And I know firsthand, out of state, a friend of mine told me that they had a friend that was scammed out of $20,000, one of these cases. It was a federal grand jury scam. So got to be aware. So I wanted to bring that to people's attention. It can happen to anybody. I want to congratulate the women's girls softball team. Lady Wave, they're 24-2 going into the district, the sectionals. They got rained out tonight, I understand. Yes. So they're playing tomorrow night, and they're playing Friday night in Versailles, right?
Yes.
And we want to wish them on. They had a perfect 18-0 record in the Miami Valley League, and this will be invariably the 23rd consecutive season he's won 25 games.
Correct.
What an awesome program, and he's built that program, and we can only hope that the rest of our sports teams can build a program like that. That's the model. Amen. So anyway, so I want to congratulate them on that. And the last thing, I just want to make mention of the Memorial Day Parade this coming Monday, the 26th. It starts at 1 o'clock, going down Broadway to the mausoleum at Greenville Union Cemetery, and Angie King will be our speaker for that ceremony. So I want to invite everybody to come and attend. Hopefully we got a beautiful day. So with that, I pass.
All right, thank you. Moving on, Safety Service Director, Mr. Dell.
Thank you, Mr. President. First I want to start off with is tall grass, code enforcement. There's a lot out there. I want to remind everyone to call in if there's a property not being taken care of, whether it's tall grass, weeds, trash around the property, and we can get on our list and stay on top of these. Our code enforcement officers, daily out looking, but he's been spending a lot of his time on complaint base just because we've had so many. I think last weekend helped us a little with the nice weather, and some people did get mowed, and not as many as we expected to mow this week, as our week list started rather large, and I think we ended up having to mow maybe 4. So that's not a horrible start to it, but they were definitely bad. So give us a call, call planning and zoning, and we'll get somebody out there and get it marked, and just remind everyone, it is a point of emphasis for the city of Greenville to address these code enforcement problems, and we're going to hit it hard all summer long. Phase 3 sidewalks, we had a bid opening today. We did get 3 bids back. They're all very close, all about $30,000 under engineer's estimate. So we're going to go through all the documents, and at next council meeting, we'll have that legislation before you to hopefully get approved. Solids handling project. Contractors are lined up, everything's been signed. The only thing we're waiting on right now is some documentation from the EPA on our loan, and they will start construction June 1st, June 2nd. I think the 1st is actually a Sunday, so June 2nd. They're supposed to be on site to start on the construction of the solids handling. And then I want to discuss, I messed up my papers, I apologize. CIP that is on for tonight. Oh, there it is. Okay, so it'd be item 5. The general government CIP in the amount of $452,000 and the CIP amount of $538.26, and then roadway enhancement CIP amount of $450,000. So we currently have $1,014,749.94 was our beginning balance in our CIP fund that was left over from last year that we did not spend. We've approved a couple, or you have approved a couple pieces of legislation, one being a server in the amount of $70,000, the downtown traffic light repairs, $15,000, a check reissue for $702, and that leaves us with $988,240 left. We met with the administration and Mr. Wilman, chair of the finance committee, to talk about CIP request, and it was decided that we would use $330,000 for our engineering for our Schweitzer Street project, $100,000 for our dispatch center upgrade over at the PD, and then $22,000 on sign and signpost replacement around the city. And then paving, we would allocate $450,000 towards the CIP. We do plan to utilize $650,000 for paving for this year, but $200,000 of that will come out of permissive. And then in last quarter, probably October timeframe, we'll see where we are, how much carryover we have, and then we can make decisions at that point if we want to fund others. CIPs, or the talk is probably more leaning towards pay off some debt that we have so we can clean up some of our debt service. And with that, I will answer any questions, but I will pass.
So from a CIP standpoint, we're operating off of the $1,014,000 that was carryover, nothing more.
Correct.
That's the end for the year,
Yes.
at least for now.
Unless, like Ryan said, unless we get to the end of last quarter of the year. And we have other requests that we did not consider due to the fact we're staying within that threshold of the $1 million that was in the account.
And is paving typically something in CIP?
Yes.
Okay.
Any other questions? All right, thank you. Moving on, Law Director, Mr. Riemann.
Thank you, Mr. Council President. Just piggybacking a little bit off what Ryan said, we are moving forward with nuisance and code enforcement. We've met with some departments to kind of streamline that process, even on the mowing side. So we do have that in place and are kind of ready to roll now for the summer. And then secondly, Steve Anderson, the assistant law director, started May 1st. He's been doing great, had his first jury trial, got a guilty verdict for the city on a case last week, and so everything seems to be operating smoothly with that. So with that, I'll entertain any questions we have. Yes, sir.
Mr. President, I need to backtrack a little bit to the two. No, go ahead. What we've now signed off and going forward with both loans for water tower and waste treatment, right? Or we're still moving forward. We either have signed and have triggered them, or we're preparing to trigger them.
Correct. Solids handling, we're triggered, ready to go.
How much is the loan?
Contractors lined up. Well, the loan, we are approved for up to, I want to say 18.7 million. Don't quote me on that, I have to look at it for sure. We're approved up to that amount. So until the project's
We can always pay
complete.
down whatever portion we want and take a loan on the balance that's owed.
Until it's complete.
Yeah, so once it's complete, then we can decide if we want to, say, only borrow 15 million and pay 4. But we're approved up to that amount.
So what's the timing of completion?
2 years,
Okay, so June to June 27.
27.
And the water tower is what?
Water tower is 18 months, so that is on the agenda for tonight to approve the contract for the water tower, but the EPA loan will not get awarded until July. So it's the third Thursday in July is when the EPA approves them.
But both of those loans, we don't trigger until completion.
They pay the contractor off of them, but at the end, when we finalize.
Lock into an amount
Correct,
that we're financing until the end.
correct,
So anything we can do in the next 18 to 24 months can benefit the city and the citizens
correct,
to put us in a less debt position.
correct.
Okay, thank you. And the water tower total, oh, you've got that coming up, never mind. I got it.
All right.
Any other questions for the law director?
Sorry about that. You're good.
Okay, moving on, auditor, Mrs. Davis.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just want to also review, if anyone has any questions on the legislation, but I want to make sure that the clarification on item number 6, the transfer for public transportation fund, the $68,000 is money that was already budgeted, and we are just transferring it from one line number to another. We had to create a new line number for the purpose of ODOT wanting to track these funds in a different manner. So this is no new funding, this is just transfer out to separate some of those positions out. So that's all that is.
All right.
And I don't believe I have anything else unless anyone has another question.
Ms. Davis, what's the ODOT criteria for having to set up something different there?
So they have different positions, so they want to clarify when she goes back to send in for the reimbursements that they have. They want to know how much we're spending on the operations manager, they want to know how much we're spending on drivers, and they want to know how much we're spending on dispatch. And they want all of those broken out so that they can see the salaries that are paid in each individual category.
So within the finance numbers now, we'll be able to see each one of those separately.
That is correct. We just added a new line number, and that's what we have to fund it. That will take effect on July 1st for the July 1st payroll, because they're on a fiscal year, July to July, and we're on January to December. So when we work on the budget for 26, then we obviously will budget it out the gate that way.
Which should be like next month, shouldn't it?
Yeah, yeah, we're working on it.
I got my disclosure done too.
I'm sorry.
I got the disclosure done on time too.
Okay, thank you. You're past now, Leon, if you didn't.
I know.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you so much.
All right, thank you. Moving on, committee reports. We have none scheduled for tonight. Ordinances and resolutions, we have 10. The first has already been given its second reading, the resolution to authorize the mayor to enter into contract with Family Health.
A resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into contract with Family Health Services of Dark County to provide transit services. This resolution authorizes the mayor to enter into contract with Family Health Services of Dark County to provide transit services with compensation in the amount of $22.65 for each person each way.
Motion to adopt the resolution?
Motion by Mr. Norris to adopt the resolution. Discussion?
Mr. President, just as we go through each one of these, part of what you and I talked about before, Ryan, roughly how many trips per month or per quarter, whatever measure we want to use, do we, like, with family health, in this case, what is it, 20, 30, 80 per month?
It would be a guess. I wouldn't want to guess.
I'm trying to figure out how big this, I'm trying to quantify this contract. Trying to.
It's not a huge contract. I would say if 20.
Can you get me that information separately?
Absolutely.
Okay. So like 20 per month? Well, estimate. Estimate.
Yep.
You qualify that, okay. So that's 400, 5,000 a year, okay. I want it on each one of them individually. Yeah.
I heard it.
Yeah, each one of them individually.
Each of the contracts.
Correct. Trying to frame how big of a piece of business each one of these is.
Seems to me that would be kind of like the police report, the fireman's report. I mean, okay, you could just put a report out, so that we all know.
And you get it.
Yeah.
She already sends one
All right.
quarterly. And it would have that, it has that listed
Inside of there.
on each side what the contract is.
Okay. Just so it's quantified in the report.
All right, any other discussion?
Nope.
Motion before you is to adopt. Call the roll.
White,
Yes.
Wellman,
Yes.
Brown,
Abstain.
Ely,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Norris,
Yes.
Rogers.
Abstain.
Okay, moving on, number 2. This resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into contract with Wayne Healthcare. This one has already been given a second reading also.
A resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into contract with Wayne Healthcare Foundation to provide transit services. This resolution authorizes the mayor to enter into contract with Wayne Healthcare Foundation to provide transit services with compensation in the amount of $22.65 for each person each way.
Move to adopt.
Motion by Mr. Willman to adopt the resolution. Discussion?
Mr. President?
Yes.
And again, we'll come back to the same question here, but also each one of these contracts is a county contract, right?
Correct.
Service across the county.
If they call us for a contract ride, it's the same price, whether we drive a mile or 10 miles.
Right, but it's servicing the entire county.
Correct, yes.
We already have to service within the city.
Pardon?
We already have to, these are businesses that are located within the city. If they were to call us for a city resident, they would qualify just based upon our transit at a much lower rate.
Well, that's what that's what I was heading to, because really city citizens don't pay this 20.
Correct.
Within Family Health or within Wayne Health or within Jobs and Family Services, if it's within the city, they're not really paying this. So this is only the fee if it's outside of the city. That's why I was asking the number.
Yeah. So some job, like Jobs and Family Services is a good one for that. Like, I don't know exactly how Wayne Healthcare and Family Health is going to be because we haven't had a contract with them for so long. But Job and Family Services, they give us a list, and that list is updated pretty much daily on who qualifies and doesn't qualify. Like, they'll send about an email a day, like, these 3 people are off, these 4 people are on. So they will do that even for city rides, and it's a wage qualification that they go through that puts them on that list. So there is some city rides, more on the Job and Family Services rides. I don't think you're going to see it as much on the Family Health or the Wayne Healthcare side of things.
Okay. And all of these are not operating now, correct?
Correct. Job and Family Services, we might have stopped at the 1st of May, I believe.
Maybe.
Any other discussion? Motion before you to adopt. Call the roll.
White,
Yes.
Wellman,
Yes.
Brown,
Abstain.
Ely,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Norris.
Yes.
Rogers.
Abstain.
Okay, moving on, number 3, resolution authorizing mayor to enter into contract with Dark County Job and Family Service. This one was given first reading at the last meeting.
A resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into contract extension with the Dark County Jobs and Family Services to provide transit services. This resolution authorizes the mayor to enter into contract extension with Dark County Job and Family Services to provide transit services with compensation in the amount of $22.65 for each person each way.
Move to waive our third reading and go forward.
Motion by Mr. White to suspend the rules, give this resolution its third reading by title only. Discussion? Call the roll.
White.
Yep.
Willman.
Yes.
Brown.
Abstain.
Ely.
Yes.
Godwin.
Yes.
Norris.
Yes.
Rogers.
Abstain.
Moving on.
Okay, number 4, resolution for community funds for 2025.
A resolution authorizing financial assistance in support of the endeavors and pursuits of certain community-based entities. This resolution authorizes the financial assistance to the following community-based entities: Annual Oakley Committee, $1,750, Back the Blue Ceremony, $2,500, Butterflies Junior Garden Club, $300, Fireworks Reserve, $15,000, Dark County Center for the Arts, $10,000, Dark County Economic Development, $4,000, Dark County Horseshoe Club State Tournament, $1,500, Dark County Horseshoe Club Ringer Classic, $1,500, Dark County Visitors Bureau, $19,000, Greenville Girls Softball, $7,500, Main Street Greenville, $34,000, and Dark County Historical Society, $250.
Motion to waive second and third reading by title only.
Motion by Mr. White to suspend the rules, give this ordinance a second, third reading by title only. Discussion? Call the roll.
White.
Yep.
Willman. Brown.
Yes.
Ely.
Yes.
Godwin.
Yes.
Norris.
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
A resolution authorizing financial assistance in support of the endeavors and pursuits of certain community-based entities. A resolution authorizing financial assistance in support of the endeavors and pursuits of certain community-based entities.
Motion to
Who did
adopt.
that? Let Mr. Brown have that. Motion to adopt the ordinance. Discussion? Call the roll.
White.
Yes.
Willman.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Ely.
Yes.
Godwin.
Yes.
Norris.
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Okay, moving on, that was 5. Number 6, we have a transfer ordinance.
That's
Is
fine.
that 5? I'm sorry. Supplemental ordinance.
An ordinance to make additional appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures of the City of Greenville, State of Ohio during the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2025. The supplemental ordinance allows for appropriations in the General Fund and Capital Improvement Plan Fund in the sum as follows. Community Fund, City Council, in the amount of $97,300. These funds are being appropriated for the Community Funds request approved by Council. General Government CIP in the amount of $452,000. Police New Equipment CIP in the amount of $538.26. And Roadway Enhancement CIP in the amount of $450,000. These funds are being appropriated for the approved capital improvement projects.
Move to suspend the rules, give this ordinance second and third reading by title only.
Motion by Mr. Rogers to suspend the rules, give this ordinance a second and third reading by title only. Discussion? Call the roll.
White.
Yes.
Willman. Brown.
Yes.
Ely.
Yes.
Godwin.
Yes.
Norris. Rogers.
Yes.
An ordinance to make additional appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures of the City of Greenville, State of Ohio during the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2025. An ordinance to make additional appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures of the City of Greenville, State of Ohio during the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2025.
Move to adopt. Motion by Mr. Brown to adopt the ordinance. Discussion?
Mr. President?
Yes.
Ms. Davis?
Yes.
Just for clarification.
Yes.
We had $1,014,000
Yes.
in cash at the beginning of the year. But we budgeted 0 for capital improvements.
That is correct.
So we're going to use the money that was there for the capital improvements, which will show 0, for all intents and purposes, 0 cash at the end of the year in the capital improvement line item, or something near 0.
Yes, well, the cash carryover in '24, so beginning of '25, the cash was there.
Right.
And then we appropriated money from ordinance 2533, and then what is on the agenda for tonight,
Right.
we'll appropriate 902, and that will leave a cash balance of $26,509.23.
Okay. But at the end of the day, albeit we're spending cash that was already earmarked for capital improvement,
That's correct.
we're increasing what we're going to spend compared to what we're going to have come in. Is that fair?
Yes, because there were $0 appropriated for that, so this is an additional appropriation.
So if we walk backwards to the budget time, when we said that we approved a budget of spending 33 against revenue of 29, or a $4 million deficit, for lack of a better word, this would then become a $5 million deficit roughly.
So
Comparing what's coming in versus what's going out.
you're comparing bottom lines again, and this is
I
a
know.
separate account. So the
It's
separate
still-
account has $1 million, and we're spending 902 of that.
But we're spending money we didn't budget.
This
what I'm
is a
trying to get to.
supplemental.
So, okay,
Yeah,
we're both right in what we're saying, I think is what it comes down to, correct?
but I
At the end of
can't
the
look
day.
at the bottom line with all of the funds down at the bottom. I mean, we plan to spend some of that carryover for
But we didn't
for
budget.
projects.
So that's the difference.
Would you like this that shows what we
I
have in
will,
there?
yes.
Okay. Would you like to pass that?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? Call the roll?
White,
Yes.
Millman.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Ely.
Yes.
Godwin.
Yes.
Norris.
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Hey, moving on, number 6, transfer ordinance.
An ordinance for the transfer of funds among the appropriations of the various funds of the city of Greenville. This transfer ordinance allows for a transfer in the Public Transportation Fund in the sum as follows: $68,000 from transit drivers/operators to transit dispatch/operations. This transfer is needed to comply with regulations set forth by ODOT on how payroll needs to be divided by positions.
It's just a motion to adopt.
Motion to
Suspend the rules.
suspend the rules.
Want that? Okay. Motion by Mr. Willman to suspend the rules, give this ordinance a second, third reading by title only. Discussion? Call the roll?
White,
Yes.
Willman,
Yes.
Brown.
Yep.
Ely.
Yes.
Godwin.
Yes.
Norris.
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
An ordinance for the transfer of funds among the appropriations of the various funds of the city of Greenville. An ordinance for the transfer of funds among the appropriations of the various funds of the city of Greenville.
Motion to adopt.
Motion by Mr. White to adopt the ordinance. Discussion?
Mr. President, just to get for clarification, this is just recarving the pie. It's, the pie's the same size, we're just cutting it differently.
That's correct.
One
Thank
more
you.
slice. Any other discussion?
Smaller slices.
Call the roll?
White.
Yes.
Willman.
Yes.
Brown.
Yep.
Ely.
Yes.
Godwin.
Yes.
Norris.
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Okay, moving on. Number 7, resolution for the alternate format of the tax budget.
A resolution adopting the alternate format tax budget for the year 2026. This resolution adopts the alternate format of the tax budget of the city for the fiscal year beginning January 1st, 2026.
Move to suspend the rules, give this resolution second, third reading by title only.
Motion by Mr. Rogers to suspend the rules, give this resolution second, third reading by title only. Discussion? Call the roll?
White.
Yes.
Willman. Brown.
Yep.
Ely.
Yes.
Godwin.
Yes.
Norris.
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
A resolution adopting the alternate format tax budget for the year 2026. A resolution adopting the alternate format tax budget for the year 2026.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Mr. White to adopt the resolution. Discussion?
Mr. President.
Yes.
Simple terms.
Yes,
I read it and still didn't understand
I
it.
know.
So what does it really mean? What does it really do?
Yeah, so the language comes from the county because we have to submit our budgets to the county, and this is just a simplified version, so everything's kind of grouped together and not passed by a line item, it's still passed by fund. It shows the previous year's budget and the budget that we are getting ready to pass for '26. So it's just a complete estimate, stab in the dark for the 2026 budget. Our departments are working on those. They had their deadline. They've all met their deadlines. We've received all of those budgets. And so I will work on putting all of that together. So the county prefers, it makes it much easier for them in all of their meetings because they have our budgets plus the town, anybody in Dark County, they have to submit budgets, and it's a much easier format, and the state allows it, but we do have to pass legislation annually for
So
it.
it's just taking it by fund, total, by total fund.
It's still divided out into, salaries and then other expenses.
Subset within.
Correct.
Funds, and it's comparing.
Not near
In
as-
this case, 25 budget to 26 budget, and that's really all it's comparing?
That is correct.
Has nothing to do with reality or actuals.
That is correct.
I didn't mean it that way, but
I understand what you mean. Yeah. It's hard to wrap.
it
my-
doesn't cost us anything.
Correct. That does
It doesn't
not.
make us work any harder,
No, and the county appreciates that, so, because it makes them.
and it
not
helps us
have-
get done sooner.
Hopefully so. I
It
hope,
helps us get a budget done before December 31st.
I hope so.
this year for next-
I would love to shoot for that myself.
Okay, just try to line up our goals.
Okay. Any other questions?
All right, call the roll.
White,
Yes.
Bowman,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Ely,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Norris.
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Okay, and moving on, number 8, we have a resolution for the CHIP program.
A resolution authorizing the entering into of a partnership agreement for the Community Housing Impact and Reservation and Preservation CHIP program. This resolution authorizes the mayor to enter into a partnership agreement with the Darke County Commissioners for the Ohio Department of Development, Community Housing Impact and Preservation CHIP program.
Move to suspend the rules of the resolution, give a second, third reading by title only.
Motion by Mr. Rogers to suspend the rules, give this resolution a second, third reading by title only. Discussion? Call the roll.
White,
Yes.
Bowman, Brown,
Yep.
Ely,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Norris.
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Resolution authorizing the entering into of a partnership agreement for the Community Housing Impact and Preservation CHIP program. A resolution authorizing the entering into of a partnership agreement for the Community Housing Impact and Preservation CHIP program.
Motion adopted.
Motion by Mr. Willman to adopt the resolution. Discussion?
Mr. President,
Yes.
again, this is another one that I read and still didn't understand. Okay, I read it twice. Actually, I read it 3 times and still didn't understand it. So what does this do for us?
Okay, so what this does,
What does it cost us?
It cost us $0.
Right answer.
That's step one. So this is a grant that the county applies through the Department of Development. And if we go along with them, it expands so they can go from like $400,000 to $700,000. And then anyone that lives within the county, so the goal is to spend that $300,000 in the city. But then they do principal forgiveness loans on like a total rehab of a house, and it has to be owner occupied. You have to meet the moderate to low income wage scale. County checks on things like your property taxes have to be paid, things of those items, and it can be insulation, furnaces, roofs, windows, siding. So there's, for the city, they have a lot allocated for 2 complete rehabs, which can be up to $80,000, and it's a 5-year principal forgiveness loan. So as long as you don't sell your house or get your house foreclosed on within that 5 years, it's forgiven. But if you do, then you have to pay it back. And then they do a grant program, which is up to, I believe it's like $22,000, which they have allocated for approximately 3 for the city. The county, or the county's much bigger. That one, a lot of times gets used on roofs. Somebody that can't afford to put a roof on their house, maybe they've lost their insurance. So then the county works with their insurance company. As long as the insurance company says, yes, we'll reinsure them once the roof is fixed, then they start that process. The county does all the legwork. They manage the fund. I was just talking to Susan Laux, who runs the program this morning, and she was telling me that they already have a list on each side of about 5 properties in the city of Greenville who've already reached out that need their assistance. But they go out and they do all the bidding for the project. Really, all the homeowner has to do is sign off on allow it, and then they manage the project. They line up the contractors. They keep check of the work, and they pay them. And the homeowner just has to meet the qualifications.
We didn't do this last year, did we?
No, it's been a few years since we've
It
applied for
wasn't
it.
something we did last year, so, and it's not new. It's a repeat of something
Yep,
done
right.
previously, just not done last year.
Correct.
I know of a house in Union City that they did the siding and windows and roof. That house looks tremendous.
Yeah, you can
It
really,
was pretty bad shape, looking.
it's small bites of the apple, but ways to get people who can't afford to fix up
How do
their
you
property.
break down, if 10 people apply, who gets what? How do you?
So usually it depends. So there's They also, once they get on the list, there's different ways they can send them. So they have some, the county, we don't, has some other funding available through lead. So like anything built pre-1978, it's automatically assumed that it has lead in it, so they can send it down the lead slide. They actually have a committee that decides who gets it, where it goes, and they base that on the need, if all the criteria is met.
But in essence, we don't participate in that as
No.
a city. It's all done through the county.
Through the county.
This makes city residents eligible for the funding.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other discussion? Call the roll?
White,
Yes.
Wellman,
Yes.
Brown,
Yep.
Ely,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Norris,
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Okay, moving on, number 9, a resolution authorizing landmark structures bid.
Resolution accepting Landmark Structures ILP's bid for the Industrial Park Water Tower. This resolution accepts the bid from Landmark Structures for the Industrial Park Water Tower project.
Move to suspend the rules, give this resolution second and third reading by title only.
Motion by Mr. Rogers to suspend the rules, give this resolution second, third reading by title only. Discussion? Call the roll?
White,
Yes.
Wellman, Brown,
Yep.
Ely,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Norris,
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Resolution accepting Landmark Structures ILP's bid for the Industrial Park Water Tower. A resolution accepting Landmark Structures ILP's bid for the Industrial Park Water Tower.
Move to adopt. Motion by Mr. Brown to adopt the resolution. Discussion?
Mr. President.
Yes.
Mr. Dell.
Yes, sir.
Is the $7,677,000 the with contingency or without contingency?
That is with the alternates and the contingency.
So it conceivably is a number lesser than 7,677
Yes.
when we get all done?
Yes.
And this also includes the demolishing of the other 2 inside of that?
Correct.
So it's a one and done, all done,
Yep.
18 months.
Yep.
Fingers crossed.
What was that?
Fingers crossed. If you ever talk construction timelines, 18 months. Sounds
I'm just gonna say,
Under the estimate too, isn't
Yeah, it was not quite $1 million under the engineer's estimate, and the company Landmark was one of them that was on our list of contractors that had good references that we want. That's all they do is
Where
go
are they
around Texas, Fort Worth, I believe.
so they'll bring a crew in to stay here and do the whole,
Yep, start to finish.
and they're gonna start, I'm sorry,
Bid takes.
Yeah.
and they're gonna start when?
So on this one, we won't get approval on the loan until July. So just depending on the schedule and when we can get the paperwork completed, we have to wait till after that July to actually execute the agreements. So I would say fall.
Okay.
Brian, if I may, it's basically, they have to be finished by the end of 2027, is what was the contract. That's what we had basically.
Because that gives them 2.5 years, roughly.
Yeah, but it's an 18-month project.
Right. It's called constructionese.
Right.
Any other discussion? Call the roll?
White,
Yes.
Wellman, Brown,
Yep.
Ely,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Norris,
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Moving on, number 10, we have an ordinance entering into an agreement for resurfacing 49.
An ordinance authorizing entering into an agreement with ODOT for a project to resurface 2 sections of 49. This resolution authorizes the mayor to enter into an agreement with ODOT's Director of Transportation to resurface State Route 49 from Broadway/Washington Street to Fort Recovery Road in the city of Greenville.
Move to suspend the rules and give this ordinance second, third reading by title only.
Motion by Mr. Rogers to suspend the rules, give this ordinance a second, third reading by title only. Discussion? Call the roll?
White,
Yes.
Wellman, Brown,
Yes.
Ely,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Norris.
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
An ordinance authorizing entering into an agreement with ODOT for a project to resurface 2 sections of 49. An ordinance authorizing entering into an agreement with ODOT for a project to resurface 2 sections of 49.
Move to adopt the ordinance.
Motion by Mr. Rogers to adopt the ordinance. Discussion?
Mr. President.
Yes.
Is zero cost to the city.
No, this one costs the city. So this is urban paving. So you approved one of these a few months ago for 127, and it's just portions of 127 hit the city limits, but ODOT covered that 100%. This is what they call urban paving, so it's federally funded, passed down through ODOT. So basically, they program them like 6 years out. So I call ODOT and say, hey, I'm looking at this street, and then we kind of go through the numbers and we program them, what they consider programming for certain years, and then it's an 80-20 split. So ODOT pays 80%, we pay 20% of the resurfacing cost. And the estimate for this one, our portion is right around $132,000. It has not been bid yet, so if the bids are different up or down, that number could change, but that's the engineer's estimate that ODOT
And where did the 132 come from?
So normally, we either use it from CIP, we have state highway funds that we're only allowed to use on state highway, so if we can fund it out of that, yes, and it qualifies, we try to fund it out of that. That's number one. CIP or permissive are kind of our backups.
And timing?
So this project is going to sell in ODOT's first quarter of 2027, which is our third quarter of 2026, so next summer.
Next July.
Yeah,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Any other discussion? Call the roll.
White,
Yep.
Wellman, Brown,
Yep.
Ely. Yes. Godwin,
Yes.
Norris.
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Okay, we have nothing under old business, nothing under new business. Our council representative outside committee, we'll move that to next meeting. Communications.
We received the monthly reports of April from the street department and the income tax department.
Okay, call down the council.
White,
First off, thank everybody for being here tonight. Mr. Godwin and Mr. Rogers, I'd like to meet after this meeting just to see if we can't work out something for yet this week or early next week to knock out the safety issue. And Mr. Raymond. And Mr. Delp for the police.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Wellman,
Not too much. Thanks for your reports. Thanks, Jenna, everybody, the guys that are out there. So other than that, thanks. Appreciate it, guys.
Brown,
Question on the sidewalks. Do we know how many of the bills that were sent out that were sent 10% over the estimate?
How many for phase one?
Whatever one Willow Drive would be, I fall into that realm, but.
Okay.
So my question is, how many of these are they estimating, and then how many are they billing at 10% higher?
Oh, boy.
Do we know?
I would know, but it's a lot of information. That's why we're doing phase 3 different. That's why we bid it first. And then, so there's no engineer's estimate. What the bill is what the bill is. Because like on phase 1 and phase 2, what happened, engineer's estimate came in. So then your estimate was sent out with those engineer's estimates. And then once the bid happened, the bid numbers were higher. So then there was an increase. So that was something we changed for phase 3. So what you see, your estimate is going to be your invoice then.
Okay. I just asked because I had 2 squares of sidewalk that were replaced. It wasn't like a large project that should have been, I would have expected to be difficult to gauge at that point. So just asking. Wanted to congratulate the Back to Blue on another good ceremony this last week. They had, from my understanding, had a pretty good turnout out there. I was out of town. We had separate representation over there for Spirit. And on that note, just to kind of toot our own horn, and I believe some of you guys have seen this in the paper, as well as some of the invitations that have been sent out. Out of 988 agencies, Spirit EMS was voted EMS Agency of the Year. And there is a community celebration, so I'd like to invite everybody out to that. It's Thursday afternoon from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. Going to be smoked pork butt, pork butt that is cooked, as well as some other side items, and then there will also be free cone ice for everybody coming out. So come on out, take part in the celebration. There's going to be games, bounce houses, tours of the station if you want, what have you. A little cold for a dunk tank yet, but anyway. Lastly, I want to piggyback on the mayor talking about Doug Wright. Chief Wright, as I have come to know him, hired me 20 some odd years ago now, 22, 23 years ago, as a young wet behind the ears EMT. And I really had a chance to grow up and learn the fire service and learn what it took to be a public servant because of him and because of his leadership. And so certainly thoughts and prayers to Sandy and the family. I did have the opportunity to go see him today. If you would like to see him, I would encourage you to get over there soon. Likely you only have a few weeks left. I gave him a hug before I left, and he woke up enough and laughed and told me to be good, which is something that he always says before you ever left him. He always said, "Be good now." And so anyway, I just share that he's still of sound mind to know that you're there. And with that, I pass.
Ely?
I would like to thank everybody for being here tonight, and I would also like to say I thought this was a really good council meeting. We had a lot of interaction, and I think I appreciated Ryan and Kim and Mr. Wheelan for taking the time to expand on what the resolutions and the ordinances and all this. Those make things so much better for us to act upon when you have a little more knowledge, because when you read it, it's like, what? But when you hear the dialogue, it's so much better. So I thank all of you for aiding me in being better at what I can do here. So thank you very much. And with that, I pass.
Godwin?
Pass.
Norris?
I'm looking forward to the Memorial Day Parade. Weather looks like it's going to be pretty decent, and it's nice to have our state rep come down to be the speaking. Kind of going on with the EMS and the fire thing. It's EMS week, so thank you to our local representation, which is Spirit Medical and Greenville Township Rescue, celebrating EMS week. And I'd also like to make a motion to excuse the absences for the month of May.
I have a motion to excuse the absences for the month of May. Discussion? Call the roll.
White?
Yes.
Wellman?
Yes.
Brown?
Yep.
Ely?
Yes.
Godwin?
Yes.
Norris?
Yes.
Rogers?
Yes.
That all passed.
Thank you.
Rogers?
Pass.
President Schmidt?
I'm going to pass tonight. I'll take a motion. Motion by Mr. Rogers to adjourn. Discussion?
Do it tonight.
Call the roll.
White?
Yes.
Wellman?
Yes.
Brown?
Yep.
Ely?
Yes.
Godwin?
Yes.
Norris?
Yes.
Rogers?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.